Hey guys, my name's Zachary Dawson, and today I'm going to be talking about the differences between each generation. And to start off, we're going to be talking about why do the differences matter. So the main reason is in the workplace you're often going to be interacting with people from different generations. Um, so like even just like working with them and just talking to them every day, it helps being able to understand in general like what other generations um, believe and think and how they function and stuff. Because even though we're all working the same thing, we usually have different mindsets and stuff about how we go through things. Um, Specifically, likely when someone goes into the workplace in an entry level position, their bosses will be from a different, most likely older generation from them. So it's good to know like in general how that generation will think. And then on the other hand, when you're older and you're a boss and you're managing different generations, it'll be nice to know how um, the people under you that you're managing from younger generations think. So that's just why the differences matter. First generation, the oldest generation, usually in the workplace, is the baby boomer generation. This age group from about 55 to 73. This generation didn't have any technology or like any technology that we have now growing up. So they have just very little tech skills. Um, they since they didn't have tech skills, they had a lot more face-to-face interaction than we do today. So they value relationships a lot more, uh, and they also have just a very strong work ethic. The generation after them is Generation X. This generation is going to be from around 39 to 54 years old. Um, Generally, they have pretty decent tech skills for the most part, especially on the younger part of Generation X. Um, because the generation above them focused so much on work, this generation cares a lot about having like a good balance between work and like life and like family. Um, just mainly because of the generation above them being so focused on work. And also, a lot of the innovation that we have today comes from people in this age group. Um, yeah. The generation after that, the Generation Y, this age group, or the Millennials, this age group is 18 from 38. Um, this generation grew up with uh, technology, so they have very good tech skills generally. Um, One negative thing about this generation is older generations consider them like lazy, selfish, and like entitled almost. That people from this generation don't work for what they get, and that they just get a lot of things handed to them. Um, Another thing about this generation is they have the highest rates of depression, anxiety, and other mental illnesses like that, and part of that's due to the amount of expectations for success and like how competitive a lot of jobs are in this time. So it just makes it hard for stuff like that, and um, that's why there's a lot of depression, mental illness like that in this generation. And then the youngest generation, Generation Z, um, 17 and younger. Not much is known about this generation because there's not a whole lot of this generation in the workforce. Um, so it's hard to like make generalizations for the whole generation right now. But what we do know is that they also have very good tech skills, and more generalizations will come as they get older, and it'll be shaped by current events and what happens and as they grow up. So another reason why this is important, if you look at this graph, it shows the percentage distribution of labor force by age group. So the blue bar is 1994, and you can see that it's heavily like 25 through 44, and then the orange bar is projections for 2024, and you can see that it's more evenly distributed. So why this is important is as years go on, it's likely that people in the workforce will be interacting with more different generations than they do now or they have in the past. So it's just important to know generally how other generations think, what their like priorities and like values and beliefs are, because it just makes it easier and well, it's pain free to interact with other generations. Um, so thank you guys for watching my presentation. That's gonna do it.